Invaders from Mars.
Movie audiences have long been entertained as filmmakers projected their nightmarish visions of inhuman beings onto the big screen. For decades, these cinematic monsters were obviously puppets or actors in funny-looking suits. But today, movie aliens have evolved into much scarier beings. Coming up, we'll visit the studio of H.R. Giger, the man who revolutionized our image of alien life forms. And we'll see how today's alien effects artists are giving life to a new generation of creatures, from an Earth threatened by a very unearthly species to an alien-infested planet far, far away, to a monstrous habitat that proves there's no place like home. These masterminds of the bizarre and the fantastic bring us face to shocking face with alien life forms we've never encountered before. Next on Movie Magic. Zurich, Switzerland, a city known for its serene beauty. Not a likely place to find dark and deadly alien life forms. Yet a secluded Zurich flat is the home and studio of the man who has led the field in pursuit of the quintessential alien design, H.R. Giger. This surrealist artist, who won an Academy Award for his designs in the 1979 film Alien, is now embarking on a new project. Giger has designed a deadly yet beautiful monster named Syl, who terrorizes the city of Los Angeles in the science fiction thriller Species.
Syl is different because I want to keep her beauty. Even if she transformed into an alien creature, that she still is beauty.
Giger has also designed and built an alien train, which appears in Syl's dreams.
It's always a mixture. When she is dreaming, then it's a mixture from the reality there in LA and something from her planet.
The challenge of bringing Giger's frightful visions to the screen goes to two of Hollywood's top effects artists. The visual effects are being supervised by Richard Edlund of Boss Film Studios, noted for his work on such films as the Star Wars trilogy, Poltergeist, and Alien 3. And animatronics expert Steve Johnson of XFX Inc. has been called on to create a full-size robotic Syl, as well as special makeup effects.
In essence, Giger has been designing Syl for 30 years. I mean, he really has. If you look at his work, it's predominantly 99% beautiful, Egyptian, erotic women. Audiences who know of H.R. Giger's work don't really know that because what have you seen? You've seen the alien was male.
Johnson's major challenge is to turn Giger's design of Syl into a full-size transparent puppet seen in brief moments throughout the film.
Syl herself has more elegant, more drawn-out proportions than an actual person. Her arms are longer, her neck is longer, she's thinner, and you can see through her. The first thing that we had to figure out was where are the areas of movement, whereas these areas are hard, the areas I'm tapping, but certain areas are soft. And one of the real creepy things that you can actually see the discs that are supporting the outer shape in here, and then there's a weird selection of corrugated tubing running through, some weird sinuous kind of muscle tissue.
To animate Syl, Johnson devised a system of rod and cable controls to puppeteer the body and remote control electronics to actuate facial movements. In the movie's climax, set in a cave, Syl's complete form is revealed for the first time. Creating her distinctly non-human movement requires four-time Oscar winner Richard Edlund to push technology to its limits.
It's easily the most complex digital personage ever attempted. So we're going through a lot of creative elation and and technological agony at the same time in order to realize this, but it's worth it.
To give Syl a flexibility and speed which surpass human capability, Edlund and his team at Boss Film Studios have created a computer-based character and a corresponding electronic miniature puppet that drives it. Andrei Bustanovi, head of computer integration at Boss Film, must match the computer-generated Syl to Steve Johnson's full-size robotic puppet. First, Bustanovi determines the digital location of Syl's joints on a computer-generated skeleton. With these precise points, the miniature puppet, or armature, is manufactured exactly to Syl's computer dimensions, so that the puppet and the computer character will operate in sync. Every joint on the armature contains a digital converter. 5 microprocessors on Syl's puppet body translate the digital information created by her movements. This movement data is sent to the computer in real time via a standard telephone line.
We had, I think, upwards of 50 individual joints we had to track. So that this involved not just your generic wrist and elbow, but we were dealing with fingers, the hair. So it was just the complexity of the model, the fact that it had to be real time. The director had to direct the character like an actor or actress, interact with it as if he or she were on set.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and crawl 2, 3, 4, 5.
Creating Syl's facial expressions requires a separate motion capture system.
Eyes.
Animator Craig Talmy has pre-programmed 25 basic facial expressions, with many more nuances achieved through independent manipulation of the eyes, head, eyebrows, or mouth.
So as it runs around the caves and attacks its attackers, when it screams, when it blinks its eyes, when it looks mad, when it looks sad, I'll be doing it directly to the face. So it'll be applying all this facial motion capture. Again, just more animation to complete this character.
Technology at its innovative best. But Richard Edlund sees this project as much more than pushing the limits of technology.
Giger is a very strange person. I mean, he's actually, his artistic vision is peculiar, to say the least. But he is an enormously talented person. What we're able to do now is actually help him to realize that vision. Because if you've seen any of his work, it is this kind of darkly, sexually beautiful, necrophilic amalgamation of dreams and nightmares and visual splendor at the same time.
One of my major goals on this project was to actually make H.R. Giger happy with the depiction of his work, because I really, really respect Giger as an artist. He's absolutely brilliant, and I think he's an artist who's doing very important work. His work has no comparison.
Combine Giger's disturbing designs with the ingenious effects work of Steve Johnson and Richard Edlund, and the result is Syl, a new species, more frightening than ever. Coming up, we'll meet the original Giger alien, still scary after all these years. Perhaps no other film so convincingly employed alien life forms as the stylish 1979 thriller, Alien. One reason was the vision of H.R. Giger. Neither a filmmaker nor a special effects technician, Giger began his career as an industrial designer and achieved worldwide recognition as a surrealist painter and sculptor. His studio is filled with dark and provocative visions of a disturbing world. Giger refers to his own work as biomechanical, combining bones, mechanical objects, and human-like figures. His revolutionary concepts found a wide audience with the startling designs for Alien.
I like in film that all the medias, they came together. and make something strong. I mean, if I have to work for a movie, certainly I have to follow the story and create something in this direction. But mostly I just begin like the old surrealist painters started, without thinking on anything, just with an empty head.
From the head of H.R. Giger, some of the screen's most horrifying extraterrestrials, or ETs, have sprung to life.
The brain we have, the eyes we have, that's all human stuff. We have human brains, and so it will give human ETs. It's always with the technique from here we create the monster, and we don't know more than that.
But Giger knows more than most about the alien aesthetic.
The most astounding thing about Giger's design work in Alien was that it really, for the first time, looks like an alien intelligence thought out all of the designs, the sets, the ships, everything in there. It had no relationship to the way human mind works, which was really fascinating to me because it looked like, for the first time, an alien made that.
Ash, can you see this?
Yes, I can. I've never seen anything like it.
Giger's first alien came to the screen in the 1969 film Swiss Made. Already present in this design was the elongated head, an important aspect of Giger's alien persona. A decade later, with the movie Alien, it was clear that Giger knew how to make an extraterrestrial special.
They always want to have eyes. I always had to say, no eyes. It's much better with no eyes. It's much more dangerous. You don't know what the creature is doing.
From Giger's original paintings, effects artists constructed 3 stages of the alien's life. The face hugger, which springs out of its egg and attaches to the head of its victim. The chest burster, which explodes out of its host body. And the full-grown alien. Director Ridley Scott also turned to Giger to envision the film's otherworldly environments. From the sweeping landscapes of the alien planet to the derelict spacecraft.
Ridley Scott asked me to do something not X-symmetrical, because normally I like to do X-symmetrical things, and I took this detail out and made a special aircraft who was organic, but not aircraft-like, you know. It was more a kind of big bone.
In addition to the exterior, Giger also designed the entrance to the derelict spacecraft, as well as the interior. One of his most famous images is a petrified alien known as the Space Jockey. This creature appeared as one with his ship, manifesting Giger's biomechanical design, in which biology and technology merge. For a later scene, the derelict's interior set was redressed as the egg chamber, where hundreds of Giger's alien eggs were waiting to hatch. But Giger's crowning achievement was the adult alien. Giger himself created a full-size sculpture of the monster using polyester, animal meat, bones, and mechanical objects. Molds taken from the sculpture were then used to cast the horrific rubber suit worn by 6'10" Bolaji Badejo. At the end of the film, when Sigourney Weaver and the audience came face to face with Giger's creation, it was clear that alien life forms would never be the same. When we come back, we'll see how Giger's style continues to make an impression on Hollywood's alien life forms. Years after H.R. Giger designed the original Alien, its frightening offspring are still incredibly popular. After 2 sequels, the aliens extend their reach, terrorizing smaller groups of humans. In iWorks Entertainment's ride film, Aliens Ride at the Speed of Fright.
This is a chance to really put the audience in the middle of the action. You know, rather than sitting back as a passive observer or watching a screen, this is a chance for the audience to enter into the world of aliens.
The mission? To save a group of interplanetary Marines from the aliens' deadly grasp. iWorks is known for its audience-immersing ride films. These combine live-action footage, computer graphics, visual effects, and interactive theater seats for action that's as much off-screen as on. Visually, the ride experience is achieved by utilizing a computer-controlled camera, which moves the audience through a series of twists and turns down this miniature hallway of fright.
Not only do our audiences seeing a story unfold before them, they're feeling it. So you have to think every move, every turn, every bump, every grind translates itself to a motion base that an audience is sitting in and rides.
These advanced technologies, combined with a healthy dose of methocellulose slime, come together for an unmatched extraterrestrial adventure. The Giger look has influenced other effects artists in taking their work down new corridors.
These elements are Giger influenced in the sense of their random flow. He uses the body as a subject, and we dissect the body and go down into tissue and use the tissue as our elements and flow those elements together.
Gordon Smith is one of several well-known visual effects artists working on the futuristic eco-thriller Habitat. Filming on a soundstage at Mel Cité du Cinéma in Montreal, this unusual film tells the story of a house run amok when a microbiologist tries to accelerate evolution and transform his home into a Garden of Eden. The biggest challenge on Habitat is bringing writer-director René Dalder's fantastical vision into physical form.
It came out of my desire to create virtual environments, to set movies in computer-generated sets. And my notion at the time was of a story that was set in a house that reverts back to nature, comes to life, and ultimately becomes almost like an organic entity, a living being.
Beginning as a seemingly normal structure, the house first mutates into a rainforest-like organism, with roots and vines sprouting from its walls. Soon, the roots and trunks of the rainforest become more beastly as the house evolves into the alien life form which eventually wreaks havoc on a terrified town. Because the house is actually the film's central character, Habitat may be the first movie to hire a makeup artist to design walls and dress the set. Gordon Smith is known for his special makeup effects in such films as Natural Born Killers and Jacob's Ladder. To make Habitat a living, breathing life form, the Toronto-based artist and his assistant Russell Kate elaborately detailed close to 50 urethane panels to imitate the subdermal tissue of a living organism. Smith's use of urethane allows him to treat the surfaces like skin, as he applies such unconventional makeups as moss and dirt.
It's been designed so you can light it from behind, so it'll have an energy or however you want to translate that light. A living kind of aspect to it, and it can be puppeted. It moves, and I can put an actor underneath that and have him rolling around in there, and it'll just be like a huge muscle movement going across it.
In a key scene, the house absorbs a threatening visitor. To create a believable illusion, Smith prepares his panels and costumes the actress playing the visitor with alien foliage.
Okay, Lynn, really take a fall. Nose first, go.
And 2, 1, and action.
Okay, cut.
And cut.
So now it's very convincing.
Award-winning director of photography, Jean Lapine, whose past credits include the Robert Altman films Ready to Wear and The Player, is not shooting on film. Instead, he is using a video technology called high-definition television, or HDTV. The HDTV control room is in a truck parked just off-set. Here, Sony engineer Jim Lucas can layer separate elements of effects shots during filming.
I can see in real time how that actor looks in that environment. So it becomes virtual reality filmmaking in essence, that actor can see themselves on monitors in that space.
And with a team of innovative effects artists making their own magic, Renee Dalder has created a filmmaking habitat that brings a unique new alien life form to the screen.
Walter, don't shoot!
In today's alien-populated motion pictures, bringing monstrous creatures to life takes the best of Hollywood's effects talent and a disturbing vision of another world.
I created my own world because I couldn't find it, so I did the paintings I couldn't find. I invented things on paper or on canvas, what I could see or feel.
H.R. Giger's inimitable style inspires effects artists to reach deeper into themselves for the aliens yet to be born. Renee Dalder and Gordon Smith as they accelerate the evolutionary process. iWorks effects artists as they allow audiences to experience firsthand the wrath of Hollywood's most famous alien. And Steve Johnson and Richard Edlund as they employ the latest movie magic to bring us face to face with beings not of this world.